Welcome to my Me Time Monday wellness hack on post-traumatic growth, resiliency, and why caregivers are like dragonflies. This is a Me Time Monday wellness hack, which is part of our Self-Care in 7 Minutes video series. I'm Sherri Snelling, gerontologist, author of Me Time Monday, and CEO of the Caregiving Club. In life, some people have natural resiliency in the face of challenges, while others struggle to overcome adversity. For those who have been through a stressful experience, whether it is post-traumatic stress disorder or depression and burnout over caregiving, a gerontology method called post-traumatic growth, or PTG, can help guide individuals to having more positivity, adopting a growth mindset, and bringing balance back into life. It also helps build a sense of resiliency. Typically, PTG is led by a psychologist or therapist who helps the individual through 5 key areas of thought, discussion, and action. Number 1 is spiritual development. Number 2 is relationships. Number 3 is new possibilities. Number 4 is personal strength. And number 5 is appreciation for life. Let's take a deeper dive into these 5 areas. Spiritual development is essentially belief in a higher power. 90% of Americans considered themselves spiritual in a recent survey. How do religion and spirituality differ? Well, in most religions, there are rules and rituals such as going to church, synagogue, or mosque on certain days, fasting at certain times of the year, or preparing food in a certain way. There are also rituals such as communion for Catholics, bar mitzvahs in Judaism, or Muslims praying 5 times a day facing Mecca. Other people feel they have spirituality in their life, believe in a higher power than themselves, but practice an eclectic mix of mystical and unorthodox philosophies and theologies. When you live a life where there is no higher power than yourself, you not only put tremendous and unrealistic pressure on your emotional health, you emphasize your sense of isolation and aloneness. This is not what your brain is seeking. Many millennia ago, being cast out of your tribe meant despair and ultimately death. In this increasingly secular world, we are replacing a higher power with high tech. This is making you less happy and more isolated. It fuels emotional despair, anxiety, and depression because you are constantly connected to negative messaging, bullying, and, let's face it, insipid lifestyles of the narcissistic nation, while you have lost your connection to faith and spirituality. You can also experience internal guilt when you violate or ignore your deepest values and spirituality. Arthur Brooks, a Harvard professor who writes and speaks on happiness, said 30% of how religious you are is based on genetics and your upbringing, and the rest is faith. By turning your back on your spirituality, you abandon your faith in yourself and in the future. Now, when it comes to relationships, I have a story I wrote about in Me Time Monday. On Valentine's Day 2007, archaeologists on a dig in the village of Valdoro in northern Italy made an historic find. 2 skeletons, one male and the other female, were posed in a loving embrace, arms and legs intertwined, facing each other with their foreheads touching, a uniquely human emotional expression that typically signifies love and intimacy. Researchers confirmed the skeletons were 5,000 to 6,000 years old, and both skeletons were about 20 years of age when they died, but not genetically connected, meaning not mother and son, brother and sister, or father and daughter. It appeared these ancient lovers found comfort in each other during their last moments of life. What amazed the archaeologists and historians is most burial sites and remains found for this ancient period do not consist of more than one person. The male skeleton had an arrow in his spinal column, while the woman had an arrowhead in her side. It is unclear if they were both mortally wounded by a predator, or if the woman sacrificed herself to join her lover in the afterlife. Archaeologists named the couple Romeo and Juliet, not just for their youth and romantic death poses, but also since the burial site was found near Verona, the city where Shakespeare famously set the story of his star-crossed lovers. Humans are social animals. Since ancient times, love, intimacy, and bonding with others has been a part of the human experience. As a social species, humans survive and thrive through the cooperation and love of other humans. This bond of trust is the most significant influence on both health and happiness. This social bonding is your eternal strength. Our core relationships are what help us through challenging and dark times and give us hope for finding happiness and joy in life. Being a caregiver means you are providing the social sustenance another person needs, and in return, receiving that gift for yourself as well. Now, number 3 is new possibilities. One way to build post-traumatic growth is by taking a labyrinth walk. A labyrinth is different from a maze because it has one start and one endpoint, whereas mazes have options on which path to choose that can often overwhelm your brain, causing confusion and anxiety. During a labyrinth walk, most of which are done outdoors in nature, you are paying attention to your breathing, listening to nature sounds, and thinking about your inner life, the challenges, the reason for being, the relationships that nurture you or hold you back from fulfilling your meaning in life. It is a contemplative exercise that many call meditation in motion. It is a great alternative to breathing exercises or yoga that can be difficult for some people. By being able to move and think about your emotions and feelings without other distractions, you feel a sense of spiritual awakening and wonder, and you begin to see the positive possibilities in life. Many people who have done a labyrinth walk talk about feeling more grounded, more calm, and more accepting of who they are and why they are here in the world. Now, number 4 is another story from my Me Time Monday book about personal strength. Approximately 300 million years ago, long before the dinosaurs roamed the earth, one of the first organisms to inhabit the planet were dragonflies. In China, people associate the dragonfly with prosperity, harmony, and good luck, while Native Americans see dragonflies as a sign of happiness, speed, and purity. And in Japan, dragonflies are a national emblem and are seen as symbols of happiness, strength, and courage. While the myths and symbolism of dragonflies varies, many Western cultures still feel dragonflies are signs of mischief, but most agree dragonflies are mysterious insects that are a symbol of personal strength when it comes to caregiver wellness. So for instance, first, dragonflies have perfect agility with the ability to not only fly backwards, but have each wing work independently, giving them unparalleled aerodynamics to fly sideways, straight up or down, or just hover and spot like a helicopter. This adaptability and flexibility is a message for caregivers to accept change. Second, dragonflies can see more than most living things. Their heads are 90% eyes, and they have almost 360-degree vision, with just one tiny blind spot directly behind them. Now, caregivers need to recognize you may have a blind spot when it comes to self-care, but you can find balance in caring for your loved one as much as caring for yourself. Third, because dragonflies are cold-blooded, they have difficulty regulating body temperature, whereas warm-blooded humans have no such trouble. To address this, dragonflies will assume the obelisk posture, similar to a handstand-like position in yoga. This helps them prevent overheating on sunny days. For caregivers, the reminder here is to take time to raise your face up to the sun or practice a little yoga. And fourth and last, dragonflies are seen as magical, beautiful creatures, mostly because of the iridescent hue on their body and gossamer wings. Dragonflies spend most of their life underwater until their metamorphosis into the brilliant flying creatures we see. Some believe it is this lengthy incubation in salt water that gives dragonflies their beautiful iridescence, a word derived in part from the Greek word iridos, which means rainbow. In this context, the dragonfly becomes the perfect symbol for the Me Time Monday program. It is about light and water, two things that draw you into nature and wellness. It is also a reminder to caregivers to live life colorfully and to embrace caregiving as a dragonfly embraces and embodies change, transformation, adaptability, and self-care. And finally, building an appreciation for life means finding moments of awe. In fact, awe is an anti-inflammatory that improves both physical and mental health. Awe is a unique blend of curiosity and uncertainty. While this would seem to create anxiety, instead it fills your soul with wonder and joy. The awe factor of watching the northern lights or a shooting star or just staring at the galaxy with hundreds of stars you can see at night reminds you how small you are and how your daily struggles are part of a larger story being written across the universe and across time. Learning about your ancestry gives you perspective on life's challenges and fears. Contemplating your role in the universe does the same thing. A 2021 study found experiencing moments of awe on a daily basis reduced stress levels and increased self-reported feelings of life satisfaction. Other research stated feeling awe can lower inflammatory cytokines that are created in response to the body's invaders. They mobilize immune cells to fight the pathogens such as viruses or flus. While studies show 75% of our sense of awe comes from nature, the sensation of having your breath taken away or staring in wonderment can be a nature scene such as a sunset, a snowy mountaintop, or the magic of fireflies at night. But it can also be watching a loved one sleep soundly, contemplating a beautiful work of art or architecture, witnessing a child's birth, or holding the hand of a loved one as they take their last breath. Some psychologists call this sunset mode, a term that defines a mindset allowing you to take all of life's emotions in, but realize the moment will not last. In our world of scientific certainties, we are surprisingly okay with experiencing the mystery of awe. This is because when you encounter awe, you are creating an appreciation for life that feeds your soul. I hope you enjoyed this Me Time Monday wellness hack. Every Monday, I will have a new self-care in 7 minutes video. You can find more information in my book, Me Time Monday, the weekly wellness plan to find balance and joy for a busy life, or visit MeTimeMonday.com or caregivingclub.com. Take care and stay well.